I am the pinnacle of an education. A chance to flourish, a chance to bloom, to blossom, to thrive and to prosper. I do not yield to surrender, for being in my presence is proof of dexterity. Your greatness is not measured by money or stature, it's measured by courage and heart. I invite all creeds, of combustion, electric, and of hybrid. I respect artificial and human intelligence alike, for I am a contemporary. It's 2019. I am coming of age. Celebrate 21 years of Studentship Showcase with me. I command you to my home, the home of British motorsport. Silverstone is calling. Who will answer? I am Formula Student. Welcome back to Silverstone for our final day of Formula Students. Now, yesterday we saw a rather dramatic competition take place on the acceleration event and the sprint event, and it's actually the German team WHZ who are currently at the top of the leaderboard. Let's take a look at the standings.
Welcome to Formula Student 2019. My name's Sam Collins. And I'm joined here in the commentary box by Andrew Maffer. Today is the big day. It's the endurance. It's going to be a big one. It's hot. We're at Silverstone Circuit. You're watching live, either at the track or online on Let's Go Racing, the Formula Student official tweet, the official feed as well. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be unpredictable, and it's going to be great. Andrew.
Morning, Sam. How are you doing? It's pretty good so far. And yeah, very, very intriguing day yesterday on Saturday, as we saw the Axel, skid pad and sprint events. But today's the big one, endurance. This is the make or break day for all of our students, the work they've been doing the last 12 months.
Well, Nikki's going to explain what the process is. So let's see what she's found out right now.
Hello, good morning. Welcome back to Silverstone for our final day of Formula Students. Now, yesterday we saw a rather dramatic competition take place on the acceleration event and the sprint event. And it's actually the German team WHZ who are currently at the top of the leaderboard. Let's take a look at the standings. Have had to work overnight to make sure their cars are ready for the big test that is taking place today. It is the endurance test. This is when the cars need to run for 22 kilometers. Now that is a long way to go, considering they haven't had the opportunity to test these cars before over such a distance. So it's going to be really interesting to see who comes out on top. We're very excited. Let's take a look at some of today's action.
So let's have a look at the sprint events from the sprint event results from yesterday. Zwickau were your winners on 150 points. Second place was the team from Italy, Modena, and their winged car with 124 points in the book for them. Third place were Aberdeen, top British runner. Fourth place was the team from France, the École Nationale d'Anglaise de Metz, so they got a good run in there as well. Manchester Metropolitan University were fifth. Oxford Brookes University 6th, University of Sheffield in 7th, Brunel University in 8th. Good return to form for them. Best result in a sprint in a sprint event rather for them in many, many years. University of the Basque Country battled to 9th place. They had real trouble on their first 3 runs, but the 4th one was good, and that got them in the top 10. And finally, the University of Huddersfield, a return of form for them as well in 10th.
Well, it should be quite an interesting day. I mean, looking at that, we've got different speed of the different cars. Now, the first cars are queuing up on the start line, but the endurance event is now open. So we haven't had the first car on the start line, but we do have a run order, and it's the reverse of the qualifying from yesterday. So the first car we expect to see is car 22, the University of Hertfordshire, followed by Heriot Watt, Aston University, University of Edinburgh, and Transylvania Brasov. The first 5 cars we'll be seeing on track. Now, I can't quite see the start line, whether they're on the start line at the moment. I can see the start line, actually, but there's no car there. And, well, if the teams that are wanting to run in the endurance, if they want to get those points, they need to be in that queue at the moment, don't they?
They do. They could miss their slot. They will get another chance to run if they miss their slot, but the risk is, you go into that period where there's going to be slower cars, maybe cars that haven't run so far this weekend, and that can cause a bit of traffic. We will talk about traffic a fair bit today. Yesterday in the sprint, you saw 1, maybe 2 cars on track at the same time, but not in close proximity to one another and doing single laps. Here in the endurance, Sam, of course, though, you're going to have different cars at different speed, maybe 4, maybe 5 cars on track at one time. And those overtaking zones, which you'll see out there marked by the blue cones, they're going to come into effect.
Now, if you haven't watched Formula Student before, we're using Silverstone Circuit, but a special configuration that's purpose-built for this competition. We run it every single year. We've been running it here for quite long, over a decade now.
Yeah.
And each July we create a special course. Now, if you're driving down the track, you'll see these cones. So it's the yellow cones are on the left-hand side of the driver. The green cones are on the right. The red cones, you're meant to wiggle through. You've got to do a slalom. And you can go in or out either way, and there is a right way and a wrong way to do it. But, it's up to the driver to work out which quick way is. The blue cones are where the official overtaking zones are. So you'll see blue lights flashing to let cars overtake. And sometimes you'll see cars ignoring the blue lights, and there are penalties for that.
And as well, when a car gets pulled into that blue overtake zone for a faster car to come through, it may be 1, maybe 2 cars that are coming through as well. So watch out for drivers waiting for the green flag to go back out, and also for when they don't wait for the green flag to go back out, because that's another area where we sometimes see penalties in this event.
Well, I think we've already got the first turn up for the books today, Andrew, because I can see the start line, and you can probably see it on the feeders as well. Now, I believe that's Heriot Watt University. You can see who are the second car due on track, and behind them you can see Aston University, the third car due on track. Edinburgh and Transylvania Brasov are probably in the staging area just out of shot. Can't quite see it from our position because there's trucks in the way. No sign of Hertfordshire.
I think is that Hertfordshire at the front there, the number 22, but no Heriot Watt.
No, that is right. That is Hertfordshire. No, that is it's Heriot Watt that's missing. Sorry, that is Hertfordshire. I just saw the PQ logo and the Loctite. Of course, if it's Loctite, it's Hertfordshire. They like gluing things.
Right, now, this car, trouble for them yesterday. I think they only did 2 runs out of the possible 4, and we saw it on acceleration as well. It didn't seem well. It wasn't running to the pace that we know it can do.
It didn't, and this is a car that's already done a competition, been competitive over in the Netherlands. It's come here hoping to go all out for the overall victory. This is a multiple British Championship winning team, and they've just been off. Sometimes you wake up on a Saturday morning and just don't feel all the energy, and just you don't feel up for the day. Or mostly Mondays in my case, but you don't feel up for the day. That's what we're seeing with this car. The car just doesn't seem to want to play nicely. Well, it's there in the pre-staging area. We'll see that car roll to the start at the moment. There's still just a few bits of officialness and track preparation going on. Not quite sure what the delay is, but as we say, the endurance at Formula Student is rather notorious for never starting on time.
Well, it's just coming up to 9:30, 9:29 in fact, and hopefully we'll be up and underway very, very soon.
Have you got that feed now on your screen?
No, I can only see Welcome to Formula Student 2019.
But just to run through the endurance run order, and we're going to change it a little bit from previous years. So Hertfordshire first, followed by maybe, possibly, Heriot Watt. We can't see him at the moment in that number 2 slot. Aston University will be 3rd, the University of Edinburgh 4th, Transylvania University of Brasov 5th, University of Cambridge 6th, University of Exeter 7th, Coventry University, one of my local unis, in 8th, University of Manchester 9th. University of Bath didn't, again, like Hertfordshire, did not run well yesterday. They seem to have quite a few issues as Hertfordshire head out on circuit for the first car into endurance. 22 kilometres they have to complete, and the 22 car is the first one out on track, Sam.
Yeah, University of Hertfordshire, the local university, one of 2 local universities here, to Silverstone, based down in Hatfield. About a 45-minute drive to the southeast of the circuit. The other local university, of course, Hertfordshire's arch rivals, Oxford Brookes University. I've got close links with both establishments.
Just to run through the rest of the endurance run order, Ain Shams University have been very impressive so far, are due to run 11th, 12th for Swansea University, University of Hull performing well yesterday alongside Birmingham City University. They'll be 13th and 14th respectively. De Montfort University 15th. Then the University of Sussex 16th, Surrey 17th, Linköping in 18th, Queen's University Belfast, good comeback yesterday. Missed them in the acceleration event, but they got out for sprints. They'll run 19th. 20th for one of the cars that really impressed both myself and Sam yesterday, from the India Institute of Technology, Bombay. They'll run 20th. Cardiff University, former champions 2 years ago, will run 21st. They were a little bit disappointed with the performance yesterday. University of Agder, second year here at Silverstone, best newcomers last year. They'll run after Cardiff. Sheffield Hallam University, punching above previous performances yesterday. They'll run 23rd. University of Glasgow, Loughborough University and University of Strathclyde will wrap out part 1 of endurance. Will then give an opportunity to anyone who didn't run in sprint yesterday. Thinking of teams like the University of Central Lancashire, who I've seen are through scrutineering this morning, the University of Birmingham, who we've not seen yet. We might see them at that point. Once they have all run, well, there's like a natural break point, there'll be a short lunch break, then we really get into the hot stuff. The top 10 teams from yesterday, top 11 actually, because you've got the University of the West of England in there as well. Then we will kick off, you know, the really fast bit of endurance. So University of West of England, Bristol first, then the University of Huddersfield, University of the Basque Country, Brunel, Sheffield, Oxford Brookes, Manchester Metropolitan, Metz, Aberdeen, Modena and Zwickau. And that may conclude endurance, unless there's some more cars who want to run after the fast cars have come through. But at the moment, Hertfordshire going round looking solid at the moment. Their first lap time was a 1:30.55.
Yeah, but that's from a standing start. I mean,
Yeah.
the fan power in the grandstands there for the University of Hertfordshire team just cheering. I could see them cheering on and waving their arms in. The grandstand must have come all the way, well, all the way up from Hertfordshire. It's the greatest place in England, I have to say. They're behind you. The car's looking quite good compared to yesterday. It seems to be running a lot smoother. It seems quieter.
Yeah, it seems a bit more refined this this morning. So lap 2 done, a 1:22.45 for Hertfordshire on that second lap. And again, if you've not watched this event before, the key point really for me, Sam, is the halfway point. Once we've reached, you know, around lap 11.
Explain the format, Andrew, because what's going on? They've got 22 kilometres.
They've got 22 kilometres, which is give or take 22 laps. There's a driver change lap in the middle, though, so it actually becomes 23. But yeah, you've got 2 drivers who are going to take part in this event. So we've got a driver out at the moment for Hertfordshire. Once that driver has done 11 laps or has shown the driver change board, he's going to come in. He's going to get out the car. They're going to switch the car fully off. The scrutineers will then check over the car, make sure it's all okay, not leaking any fluids, not falling apart or potentially putting anyone at danger if we were to send it back out again. Whilst this is going on, there'll be a driver change, like you see at Le Mans, like you see at Daytona in the 24 hours. The usual fare. We get that driver in, and then hopefully we set the car off again. Now this is where most of the retirements seem to happen, because one of the trickiest things for these cars is hot restarts, Sam. And I reckon of the retirements that we do see is Aston University do head out of circuit. So Hertfordshire University have missed their slot. They were meant to be the second car out. Aston are instead the second car out a little bit earlier. But, I'd say at least half of the retirements that we see here in the endurance event are going to be in that driver change area when the car's a little bit too hot and doesn't want to restart.
Yeah, and that's a traditional problem we see here, and it's really heartbreaking when you see the teams failing to get back out. But we've seen fires, we've seen suspension failures, we've seen wing failures. We saw a wing failure yesterday, didn't we?
We did indeed. The Strathclyde number 115. Hopefully they've got that fixed.
And there's the mystery of where did Cardiff's front wing go?
Yeah, that I don't think that ever went out on the sprint circuit. A bit of an interesting decision there. Hertfordshire continuing to go around. What are their lap times looking at? They're going down. 1 minute 18.5 last time around. That was lap 3.
I think Hertfordshire is going to be the fastest car we see on track for a while, actually. They're running somewhat out of slot because of the poor performance yesterday, but the Hertfordshire car is a quick car. Expected to be one of the fastest cars on track. Now, what the driver needs to be doing at this point, when the track's quite quiet, in good condition, there's no oil down anywhere, there's nothing to get in his way, he needs to be pumping in as many fast laps as possible, because he's not getting held up by slower cars. That will start to happen, I suspect, as some of the other cars come out on track. I don't think the Aston University car, for example, is as quick as an on-form Hertfordshire car. Where has the Aston car gone, actually?
It's just coming around the national hairpin and back towards us here at Ross's chicane. Here at the circuit, we've moved position. We're not on the outside of Copse Corner anymore. We're now on the inside, on the little bit of grass between the Grand Prix circuit and the pit exit of the national circuit. Aston have just gone past us. That first lap was a 1 minute 42.74 from a standing start, and still in the 118s for Hertfordshire as well. So this good pace continuing from Hertfordshire. Big round of applause from the guys and girls on the outside of Copse Corner there in the grandstand. It's looking good. It's looking good so far for the number 22.
It's looking indeed, it's a quiet, no-fuss run for the Hertfordshire car at the moment. It's exactly what they need. Car looks pretty well together. No sign of anything untoward at the rear. So the noise of the car, the note of the car is certainly a lot quieter than we heard it in the last couple of days. Don't know what they've gone away and changed overnight, but clearly they've made it work.
Aston's car looking a little bit more settled than it was yesterday. This car was quite spectacular on the acceleration run, which, if you missed that yesterday, fairly simple challenge in a way, a 75-metre dash in a straight line, and the Aston car didn't really want to do it in a straight line yesterday. Was looking quite tricky to handle, and I've seen the driver a little better than yesterday, but the Aston driver's still working quite hard at the steering wheel, Sam. He seems to have to use a lot of steering lock to get around the corners.
Well, I was about to say that. I was about to say they seem to have worked out to get how to get more of those revs to the rear wheels, but then he went and did that, so maybe not so much.
Missed a bit of a gear change there, but that is lap 2 completed for Aston, 1 minute 25. Hertfordshire into the 117s now. They're on lap 6 at the moment, so they're already pretty much halfway to the driver change.
And that's interesting to see. It is a very no-fuss run. Because Harriet Watt have missed their slots, Hertfordshire have got this quite nice empty track, and that could be very advantageous for them. Could
be indeed. Another lap complete, another lap on the board for Hertfordshire. It's a 116.4 this time. That Hertfordshire car is getting quicker as the driver gets more used to this course, and of course the fuel's burning off. Now this is actually as the Aston car's going slowly, Sam, very slowly, coming away from Maggots Corner. Is this our first car in trouble?
Yeah, I think it might be. We did predict this car was going to have some problems. It was because it has all the revs and no go, and it is going slowly, and it's getting caught by the Hertfordshire car. This is exactly what we were predicting. Now it's coming up to that overtaking area, but I don't think the blue light. Yeah, the blue Hertfordshire wasn't quite on the back of it. So this is now where Hertfordshire is going to start losing time, having to follow the Aston University car all the way through these sweeping corners down to the next place where you can get a pass done. And that's going to be quite difficult for University of Hertfordshire, and it's costing them so much time. Well, while the driver of the University of Hertfordshire driver is unhappy, well, they should have gone quicker. And one of the lessons to the University of Hertfordshire students is should have painted your chassis orange.
I mean, it's going to be quite a while as well because they've got to get round the national hairpin. I mean, there's team members with arms in the air, but there's not really much you can do at this stage. You've got to wait for one of those blue overtaking zones, which is probably another
on the screen. It's really nice.
150 metres up the road. It's just going to come back into our view in the commentary box, hopefully, in a moment. We're still waiting for the Aston car. Now has it
the Hertfordshire driver is absolutely furious of being behind that. It's costing Hertfordshire so much time to be stuck behind the Aston car. Now, taking to the track, also running extremely slowly, is car 111, Transylvania Brasov. It's come out of the starting gate and immediately hit trouble as it comes past the Cops banking. So more woe for Hertfordshire, going to be slowed up by 2 cars that are limping. It's absolutely disastrous for Hertfordshire's run.
I've not seen Aston come back round. I think they've stopped. And this is going to mean that Hertfordshire have to stop as well.
They've stopped at the hairpin. The Hertfordshire car is stuck behind the very slow, I mean, slower than walking pace Aston University car. Now, the marshals should be, and the Hertfordshire car had to reverse slightly to get round because it's going so slowly that it's completely stuck, and all of Hertfordshire's time is being lost by this Aston University car. And at the same time, up the road, the Hertfordshire driver will be absolutely livid when he encounters the back of car 111 from Transylvania Brasov, which is also limping around the track at a very, very slow speed.
Yeah, this is not good news for any of the teams out on second at the moment.
Hertfordshire has been released by Aston University. Relaxing and getting up to speed. The Marshals pushing the Aston University car off, so that's our first retirement of the day. So car 22 gets back underway, but he's got a nasty surprise up the road when we watch the car 22. He's about to encounter a very slow Romanian. Yeah,
I'd want to pull, and yes, the Marshals are doing the right thing here. They're going to pull the Brasov car into the overtaking bay so that Hertfordshire don't get held up again.
Well, that was bad luck for Hertfordshire, but that's what happens when you run out of sequence.
But as a result, they've pretty much lost a full lap because they did more than a lap. They did a 2-minute 54 on lap 7. So that's over, about a minute and a half, isn't it, of time lost there for Hertfordshire. The Brasov car is in the overtaking bay. There goes the Hertfordshire car past. The green flag will wave for the Brasov car. Now, can they get going again as Cambridge come back out on circuit?
I don't think the Transylvania Brasov car will get back underway, actually. It was lucky for Hertfordshire that car was just in the right spot, got pulled into the overtaking bay, and Hertfordshire got that clean track. No, Brasov is back underway, so that is going to hold up Hertfordshire. Very, very slow there. I'm not sure what the problem in the Transylvania Brasov car is, but it's clearly not running right.
No, but as we say, the University of Cambridge now out for their endurance run. Hertfordshire continue to go around 1 minute 15.3 that time for Hertfordshire, the number on lap number 8.
So that's a huge time loss
they
encountered down at the hairpin there. Not quite sure what the rules on that are, because that was a time loss that was not their own fault.
No. We'll have to consult the rules there as to how that's dealt with.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be an interesting one. University of Cambridge is obviously slower than the University of Hertfordshire car, but it's still going at a decent clip, as they used to say in the 1950s, unlike Transylvania Brasov, and I can't quite work out what's wrong with it, Andrew, but it is running. Very slowly, more of a stroll than a run, I guess.
Yeah, not sure what's wrong with the Brasov car there at all. Trying to, obviously we can't see the closed cockpits. Blue flag being waved again for Brasov, this time for the University of Cambridge to come through.
Yeah, this is the moment Hertfordshire have been dreading, because the driver hasn't realised that the Brasov car is about to hold him up badly, but the Cambridge car is going to go past, and will the Brasov car get shown the green flag?
I hope not.
No, it's not. The Marshals have done their job well. And Hertfordshire get to go past the Brasov car. He's probably wondering, the Hertfordshire driver hasn't seen the Brasov car moving yet, so he's probably driving around, just seeing this car parked up on the side of the road at various points around the track.
Another 1:15 though for Hertfordshire on that last lap, and a 1:31.45 for Cambridge from a standing start. That's a good start for full blue racing.
3 minutes 19 for Transylvania Brasov.
That's not good at all. Not quite sure if that car's going to survive much longer.
No,
Blue flag now being waved to Cambridge, who will pull over to let Hertfordshire through. Away they go. Green flag waved for Cambridge as well, so Cambridge back underway. Oh, struggling to find a gear. There's one, and away they go.
Now, just watching the chat on Let's Go Racing. Punky Pink 83, aka Emily, says if they don't appear on the running list, it means they're not entered this year. No, that's not what it means.
No.
If they're not on the if they're not on the running list, it means they didn't qualify yesterday. But there are 2 catch-up sessions they may be running in later on. And we will see some interesting cars in those.
Will do indeed. Hertfordshire complete another lap. This will be lap 10 for them. Very, very close now to the driver change. In fact, I can see the checkered flag being prepared for Hertfordshire.
Not yet. I've got an issue with the scoreboard, which I'm just dealing with.
So the Hertfordshire car will receive the checkered flag, not for the end of its race. This is to tell it that it's going to have to come in to do its driver change. The Brasov car continues to have its struggles out there. Cambridge running nicely though, very nicely indeed. This is a good run from the number 75. Brasov just coming past us in the commentary box slowly but surely. It seems very, very low on power, no revs in that at all. It's almost like they're stuck in too high a gear and they can't accelerate, which would be a bit of an odd one for early on in the session. Sometimes you do see that though.
That is exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah. Hertfordshire come past again. See the checkered flag. So this is where the nerves really kick in, I think, because Hertfordshire will come in now for the driver change. Now there is a minimum stop time, which is all part of the challenge. The car is going to sit there for a number of minutes, and the problem that we have here, Sam, is that whilst the car's not running, it's not getting cool, fresh air running through the radiators, cooling the car back down. It can sometimes heat soak.
We are watching that Hertfordshire changeover.
So Cambridge continuing to go on through. We can see the driver change area now in our little monitor in the comms box. Activity starts on that Hertfordshire car. Now the only changes that a team is allowed to make on the cars at this stage is a pedal box. So if you've got a different height of driver,
You can do the seats as well.
and you can do the seats.
Driver accommodation equipment
Yes.
you can do. If there's any leakages, you'll see a lot of the officials looking around the back of the car. That's normal. Mary Royce, one of the long-time supporters of Formula Student, looking over. She does many, many competitions each year, and she's looking over the rear of the Hertfordshire car. Doesn't look too concerned about anything. Just having a casual look over, looking for any leaks or any problems with the car. As Full Blue Racing, Cambridge, making its way around the track, going quite well. 1:31.9 was the last time past the stripe. 3 laps on the board. Transylvania Brasov, I believe, is still travelling. A new fastest lap of 2:39. At this rate,
So it's getting there, it's getting quicker.
Blue flag is racing, yeah. It's not dying, but it is holding up car 75, University of Cambridge. Full Blue Racing really improved this year, actually.
Yes, I've been really impressed with them so far. Great stuff from the University of Cambridge team. Green flag flies for Brasov. They struggle to pull away again.
I can't work out what's wrong with it other than it's not moving very quickly.
They're trying to go for a gear shift there. I think he was trying to down. I think it is. I think he's in too high a gear. I can see him trying to use the left-hand paddle, which is normally for a downshift.
You think he'd stall the engine at this point?
Yeah. I think whether he's running up in 3rd or 4th.
It's going to eat the clutch. Well, looking at University of Hertfordshire now in the pit area. The second driver is in the car. Natty orange stripes on his crash helmet. He's now trying to fire the car back up. Oh. There was that telltale look up at the officials with the driver's finger on the starting button as Cambridge makes its way through one of the slaloms. But the real action is in the driver change area. And you know, I promised one of our volunteers here with the technical equipment that it wasn't going to rain today.
Yeah, there's some clouds gathering, aren't there?
Yeah. Now, Hertfordshire back out on track now. So there was a conversation going on in the pit area, but Hertfordshire got the engine fired up and they're going back out for the second half of the endurance. That's a big achievement, actually.
It's a very big achievement. That is more than half the job done in a way. Now they've got 11 more laps, 11 more kilometres to carry on. Don't worry about the slow lap time for lap 12 on Hertfordshire, 3 minutes 14.9. Obviously, that's including the pit stop. That will be taken out of the final results. Cambridge continue to go around. It's lap 5 done for them.
Hertfordshire guys got going quite well. Now, for those who haven't watched Formula Student before, this competition pits engineering students of the world against each other. They have to design and build a racing car to a set of regulations which are rather loose but at the same time very strict in some ways. Now, this is what Hertfordshire was probably predicting, that getting held up by that Transylvania Brasov chicane, and but they're back underway. The cars are assessed not just on their performance on track, but there's also a bunch of static competitions. There is the design competition, there is the cost competition, there's a business presentation, a bit like Dragon's Den, stroke The Apprentice. Then on top of that, they have an acceleration run. That was yesterday. You can watch it on the catch-up. There was a skid pad session, and there was a time attack on this course yesterday afternoon. Now it's the long-distance endurance run. Now, if you're wondering why these cars can't go full-on wheel-to-wheel racing, just wait. You'll see why when some of the issues that you'll expect with these cars will begin to manifest themselves. Nothing caught fire yet.
Yet being the dominant word there. Cambridge continues to go around in the 135s at the moment. Hertfordshire picking speed back up 128 last time around, but that was having been held up by Brasov. Bit more revs from the Brasov car. Have they been able to find a lower gear? I think they have tried.
Yes, but they may maybe gear too low because they can't drive out of that left-hand corner, and Cambridge are going to get held up again by Transylvania Brasov. The blue flag wasn't waved quite quickly enough. The blue lights from Martins were having a little bit of a doze there, I think. Now, did the car get the message in time? Yes, it did. And Cambridge Football Racing goes past the blue cones.
They do indeed. Green flag is waved for Brasov to get back underway. Hertfordshire continuing to go round. This is looking like a good run for Hertfordshire, and they can do these last 8 or so kilometres. They're going to go top of the timesheets, and I agree with you, Sam, what you said earlier. If we can do that, I think we're going to stay top of the timesheets for quite a while.
On the chat on YouTube, there's a wonderful set of horror stories from Formula Student alumni appearing about why it's probably not the best idea to drive these cars wheel to wheel. I quite enjoy the student who couldn't make 2 perpendicular lines with a set square and just eyeballed it. I'd like to think I'm not going to drive that car. And the university concerned has been named on the feed. I'm not going to name them on air. The guilty shall remain
anonymous.
Well, they're on the chat. So if you want to know which university it was, have a look at the chat here on Let's Go Racing and on the Formula Student official feed. All sorts of social media. There's some fantastic videos on the Formula Student YouTube page. Really good highlights of the awards last night. Of course, you got the awards presentation in full on that channel.
Yep.
And there was a brilliant presentation by the head of mechanical engineering at Mercedes F1 team. Absolutely fascinating.
Waiting John CO on Let's Go Racing's YouTube channel. Cambridge has completed the most laps in endurance ever, and yeah, I agree with that. I think this has got to be, and then in my 10 years here, Sam, and you're 18, this has got to be one of the strongest Cambridge endurance runs we've ever seen.
Without a doubt. I mean, they, for many years they were coming with cars that weren't completed or didn't somehow, they couldn't get through tech inspection. But this car seems to be a bit more together than, black flag is being shown. To Transylvania Brasov. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
So Race Control have deemed that the Brasov car, not through fault of the driver, is a danger to itself and other competitors. So it's being removed from the circuit, and unfortunately, I think that's going to be the end of their endurance.
Yeah, absolutely will be. The car just hasn't got enough speed to be out on track, and it is becoming a little bit of a danger to itself and to others. But those dark clouds over the track are really rather dark.
Yeah. It's not coming in the usual direction, I think. It normally comes, in my experience, from Stowe Corner. This looks like it's coming over from Beckett's and Maggots.
Yeah, that's my experience as well. I always look over towards the farm, actually.
Yeah.
Well, University of Hertfordshire. Not enough orange on the car, of course, but it's going quite nicely indeed. Seems happening. Oh, shift issues there coming out of the left-hand corner. A little bit of a driver error. But 1 minute 13.4, fastest lap we've seen today so far. 16 laps on the board. Not all that far from being the first car to complete endurance. But I think they're going to take some beating for this first session.
I'd agree. Cambridge move on to lap 8 to 1:41.06 for Cambridge on that last lap. Brasov now in the pit lane, having completed 5 leisurely laps, shall we say. Hertfordshire now on their 17th lap out of 22, and it looks like we've got some more cars being prepared in the pit lane. I think I can see the University of Exeter car there, the number 73 in pit lane, and the 119 from Swansea University.
Yeah, that's right. No sign of Harriet Watt, though.
No sign of Harriet Watt. I couldn't see if the Coventry car was there either, and no sign of the University of Edinburgh. They seem to have missed their slot as well, the number 45.
That's a good point, yes. They seem to be out of position. Now, there's a strict running order, and if you miss your slot, you get put down to the also-ran session where, well, all
Anything
sorts of
could happen.
Anything happens, and usually does, to quote Murray Walker. Well, University of Hertfordshire, well, not much happening. It's been a very uneventful run for Hertfordshire, and that's exactly what they need.
Absolutely. 1 minute 13.73 last time around for Hertfordshire. So that car is getting quicker and quicker, but can it do this last 5 kilometres?
Well, we will see quicker laps later on than Hertfordshire are putting in at the moment, but Hertfordshire looks very, very clean. Haven't seen many or any cone penalties for that car. On top of that, it's been reliably, looking very reliable, as is Cambridge at the moment. That car is going quite nicely. Clearly not the same budget as University of Hertfordshire have got. Near neighbours, Hertfordshire and Hatfield and Cambridge, on the same train line. When the trains turn up, at least.
Yeah, let's have a little look about this, the University of Cambridge car. Yamaha R6 in there. Engine I know quite well from my time at Birmingham. Formed in 2006. Long stalwarts of the competition. Hertfordshire going ground to complete another lap there. They've been in this competition even longer. The very early days of former students.
UH1, which still exists.
Yeah.
Down at University of Hertfordshire, they have the original University of Hertfordshire Formula Student car. They got it semi-restored a few years ago. It's not in running condition, but it is in
rolling chassis
condition with some of the original bodywork parts.
And a 1:11.7 that time around for Hertfordshire on their 18th lap.
Car's getting quicker as it's getting lighter, and tyres are getting hotter.
It is indeed.
Cambridge running 1:34s, and well, the only other car we've got on the screen for times is Transylvania Brasov, because so many cars have missed their slot. University of Hertfordshire have been largely lucky with their laps that are the mostly clear track, but they did pay the penalty earlier on by being held up both by Transylvania Brasov and hugely held up University.
Yeah.
Lost 2 minutes there.
Cambridge University team. The whole team would like to thank TTP, the Technology Partnership, sorry. Their fantastic support and joining as a title sponsor for Full Blue Racing this season. Definitely seems to be making a difference.
Well, we've got University of Hertfordshire placement student waiting to return to the team in October, cheering on his car. I don't know whether placement Alex MLB 35 is, don't know where he's on placement, maybe he'll tell us. Maybe he won't. But University of Hertfordshire, Danny Brunder said University of Hertfordshire didn't run in the autocross, or we called it the time attack session, the sprint session yesterday. They did sort of run, but broke down.
Yeah,
which is why they're out of position. So that's why they're running they were the first car out on track, because they simply didn't have the pace.
It looks like Cambridge may receive a blue flag on this pass. Yes, they do. Now, this Hertfordshire car has already run this season, ran at the Former Student Netherlands event, finished 4th overall in that competition. A lot of work's gone on this car this year. Had checked out their steering column. Probably the lightest steering column and steering system that I've ever felt and seen in Former Student. new aero package on this car as well.
Joe, did we just get a timing glitch? Everything buffered and then some of the lap times have disappeared.
Yeah, I think they just the
Hertfordshire come round.
Yeah,
to
they cleared
complete
Hertfordshire
another
as
lap.
well.
Joe's working on it.
And Cambridge are going to reach driver change. Now, this is uncharted territory for Cambridge. The number 75 is now going to come into the pit lane. That's the driver change area.
Do you think they've got a second driver? University,
I hope so.
University of Hertfordshire, their lap times reappeared on our screen. 1 minute 15:31 last time by. 20 laps completed, not very far to go for Hertfordshire at all. And it is a little bit the Hertfordshire stream because this is the only car that's gone the distance so far.
It has indeed, and it's done it very, very well.
Uni Hatfield I've seen written on the car in the past. There's a little bit of a hat tip to some of the way the German teams refer to themselves. The old Polytechnic University, well, Polytechnic down in Hatfield in Hertfordshire, famous for de Havilland. A lot of the university is built on the former site of the de Havilland factory.
Yeah.
De Havilland famous for obviously the Comet. Oh, the Transylvania Brasov car has got a driver in. So a little bit confused by why Transylvania Brasov is still in driver change area after being black flagged off the track.
But if they've been black, I've seen cars be black flagged for a bit of a driver telling off, but then after having had the telling off, they can go back out again. So, you know, if the Brasov team, you know, without working on the car, have been able to, you know, get it back into first or second gear, I suppose they could, if race control are happy, they could be let out to run again. I can hear an engine running in the pit lane. I don't think it'll be Cambridge because it's way too early for them to be doing so.
Yeah, it would be very quick driver changes. There's a minimum 2 minutes, I think, isn't
Yeah.
there?
But Hertfordshire, 21 laps completed now, getting very, very close to the end of endurance. And yes, the Brasov car's going back out,
Yes.
but
And it's
not
going,
looking any quicker.
no. I can't see that. That's a very odd decision from the officials to let that back out.
Yeah, I don't quite follow on that one. And, well, this could spoil Hertfordshire's run right at the end here. Big round of applause from the team up on the outside of Copse Corner again.
I think it won't because the Brasov car is, well, it's very, very slow, but it's at the opposite end of the track to Hertfordshire. Hertfordshire doesn't have all that far to go.
1 minute 10.74 last time around for Hertfordshire. What is it this time?
That's the quickest lap of the day so far.
It's a 1 minute 11, but they are now on the last lap. 22 laps completed, but remember that includes the driver change lap. So Hertfordshire are very, very close here. The checkered flag is being prepared. They're going up to the top of the circuit.
I think they are going to catch Transylvania Brasov, actually.
Yeah, I would be getting the blue
Oh,
flag
the
out.
Transylvania Brasov's got up to speed, look.
Oh, yes, it has.
Well, the Romanians seem to have found the go faster button in that car.
Yeah, I think they've been able to get it back down perhaps into second gear. Now, whatever you do, Brasov driver, don't shift. Keep it in second gear. We've seen this from time to time.
Don't burn too much fuel, overheat it. But Hertfordshire, no such worries. Coming through the last few corners, but we have seen Hertfordshire break down at this point of the event, so fingers crossed until they cross the line, it doesn't count. The checkered flag is being readied. The marshal's leaning out past our box.
Blue flag being waved for Brasov, so they will not hold up Hertfordshire here on their last lap. Here comes the number 22. Round the final from the corners. There is the checkered flag, and the University of Hertfordshire finish endurance here at Formula Student 2019. A brilliant effort, damage limitation job. But that's really, really nice stuff from the guys from Hatfield.
The elapsed time for University of Hertfordshire, not including any cones, any penalties and driver change issues, as Transylvania Brasov has a driver issue, or lack of drive issue, as it's stopped again. University of Hertfordshire have complete the endurance in a 32 minute, 52 seconds and 30 bits of seconds.
Yeah, we'll wait to see how that does in terms of cars running later in the session. The Brasov car has come to a stop again in Ross's chicane. And is it going to be pushed away here? Yeah, I think it is. I think they might be done here. I'll do give a big round of applause to the Transylvania Uni Brasov team. They've come a long way. Shake of the head from the driver. I think they're a little bit disappointed. But they will get points for that. They will get points for having competed in the endurance. Not as many, of course, as the teams that will finish endurance. And I'm sure that we'll see the Brasov team back in 2020.
Nice clear track at the moment.
Yeah.
Which means other cars are missing their spots.
And just to say that, University of Exeter heads out on circuit. X Racing, the number 73. Now, this is another car that we saw take things a little bit leisurely. And I think there's another... I see the 22 is in the Cambridge car is still in the driver change area.
Not dead yet.
No, it's not been pulled off the circuit.
We're looking at the car 73, Exeter Racing. A little bit inconsistency in pace of this car.
Yeah, I think they've been struggling with the drivability of this machine.
It's clearly to be where it's running. The runs of these cars were... The running order is defined by yesterday's qualifying session, the time attack session. And X2 was very slow, then quick, and then very slow, then quick. And it seems to be repeating that performance today.
Well, this is great news. The University of Cambridge number 75 has completed driver change. It's into the second half of the test.
And
It's looking a bit slow out of the driver change area. This is the new driver in, of course.
I wonder if that's just a case of the driver hasn't driven the car yet, maybe.
Maybe so.
Voyage of discovery, perhaps?
At least a fairly clear track at the moment, apart from the Exeter car, which is about a third of a lap behind on circuit at least. Good chance for the second Cambridge driver to get up to speed.
Well, we're waiting for the Exeter car to finish complete its first lap. It does, or it's about to, and it does.
Oh, as I'm just having a look at the replay.
Exeter got stuck down at the hairpin. That's why it's a little bit longer. Well, so first time through that hairpin. 2 hairpins on this track. And, well, it seems to struggle with one of them. We did expect a few cars to struggle, actually.
Yeah, I was having a chat with some of the Leeds boys this morning who are hoping to be one of the cars to run in the catch-up session. And they were a little bit concerned about turning circle on some of the tight hairpins. Cambridge continue to go around, but a little bit slower. In fact, a lot slower than they were before. Driver weaving through the slalom.
It's definitely running slowly now, that Cambridge car. I'm not sure if that's the car or the driver, though. Possibly used to sitting in the traffic in Cambridge City Centre with all the buses.
The University of Hertfordshire, or can see a marshal going out to collect a cone. Remember, any cones knocked out of their 20 by 20 centimetre squares results in a 2-second time penalty for the car.
You can clip them, but as long as it's remains
in
the square.
Yeah, it's got to completely leave the square to get the penalty.
And we will see cones.
Oh, Cambridge have collected a cone.
Now this could be on for the record because that's well wedged in. And that's the cone being ground away with. That's not sparks, that's plastic. Oh, and there you go. That cone, it could well be finding its way to race control. I don't know what the distance there was, but that looks significant.
I think it was at least half a lap.
Yeah.
We will see that of cone taxiing. Exeter diving into Ross's chicane. He's looking a lot better than it did yesterday. As they clip the cone and knock it out of its square, so that will be a 2-second penalty for Exeter.
I was about to say I don't think they got caught doing that, but no, they didn't. And you'll see the marshal pick it up, wave it over his head. There you go. Put it back. And that's the cone you don't want to clip. The National Circuit pit lane is a little bit cut there as University of Manchester takes the track.
Yeah, another one of the British teams that for me has massively improved in the last 12 months, the number 97 here from the Northwest. Worked with them in tech scrutineering. Very polite team, very well prepared team. We were talking yesterday about how they were meticulously taking notes on where they could improve for future years.
I'm very much enjoying the chat on Let's Go Racing and on the official stream. Lots of alumni sharing horror stories of previous years, and it's quite amusing, frankly. Join us on Let's Go Racing. Join us on the IMAKey official stream, or IMAKey FS, IMAKey, I forget which way around it is. Fantastic to see you all tuned in and enjoying this Formula Student 2019 live from Silverstone. This is the endurance event. So we've got one finisher, University of Hertfordshire. Slightly strange noise out there.
I was just wondering what that noise was.
I think it's coming from the Manchester car.
We'll have a listen out for it next time it comes by. And there's no cars coming round. Where we are, we're slightly
Hold
out of
up
view
at
of the
the hairpin.
national. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there is a hold up at the hairpin.
And that may be
Maybe the
related
Cambridge
to the noise.
car.
Car 73.
Yeah, so car
Ah, it's Exeter
73,
again.
Exeter have held everybody up there. We can see it on your screens at the moment. There's a little traffic jam forming.
And a car being pushed, I can see out of the comms box window.
You got timing glitch on Manchester, 37-minute first fast lap. That's a bit slow.
So I think Exeter are in trouble again. You can see that now on the stream.
Yeah, well, Exeter being pushed off now. So I think that's the end of the run for Exeter.
Yeah, it was decent pace, 1:37 on lap 2, but unfortunately, I think it's all over for the University of Exeter, number 73.
Punky Pink 83, aka Emily, just says, if a car's missing wheel, that's just a mismatched set, technically, is it not?
Not sure about that one.
I think the regulations say it does require 4. Manchester car seems to be going great guns anyway. Is it making that funny noise?
Yes, I think you're right. I think it is.
I'm sure what's making that noise on the Manchester car, but it seems to be going well.
Big cheer for it as it goes through. The University of Cambridge continue on, and then the number 75.
Now, I'm not sure if that's a problem for the car from Cambridge or the driver.
Yeah.
The Cambridge car.
He's still going. He'll be doing well in efficiency.
That's, yes. Yesterday, that car was belching flames.
Yes,
so
it was.
they may have remapped it overnight.
Just to explain, this is actually 2 events in one as part of Form Student 2019, not just the endurance test, but it's also a test of efficiency. So the car that uses the least amount of energy and fuel. As the Manchester car has gone, has that come to a stop? I think it has. There's a wave of the hands. I think there's trouble here for the University of Manchester.
Well, the Egyptian team from Ain Shams takes to the track. The first thing they're going to encounter is a yellow flag and a stop to Manchester car.
Yes, and Cambridge are going to encounter it as well. Marshall's trying to push that car out of the way. Driver's looking down to the front left. Now, this was the car that we thought was making a bit of a funny rubbing noise. We couldn't quite work out what it was. I wonder if this is related. There's a lot of, looking around that front left there. And the driver's getting out. That is the end of the run for the University of Manchester. Do give them a big round of applause.
Left front's definitely failed. As the marshal started to push it, the car made the chassis moved and the wheel moved independently of it more than the suspension I would expect to see from the suspension system. So left front failure for University of Manchester. That was what the funny noise was, clearly.
Yeah.
Well, Ain Shams, car 80, come all the way from Egypt. First time I've seen them attempting the endurance, I think. And it seems quite a competent car. Just about to got a bit confused looking at the screen, and then Cambridge came past. Full Blue Racing.
Cambridge are getting quicker now. They're 156.
156. 15 laps on the board, though. Ain Shams, though, have collected a cone. Now let's see how far they go. They just play cone curling. Whoa! Now that was 3 cones in one.
Another green cone from somewhere.
Quite a few penalties there. As the driver from Manchester assists the marshals in recovery of the stricken machine. Well, that'll be left out in the sun for the rest of the day.
Yeah, it will be.
There'll be quite a collection of cars.
Yes.
By the end of the day, I assure you. Out there. So far, so calm, though.
Yeah, it's been a relatively calm start to this endurance event. Let's see. Here another car. Swansea, the 119. I've been really impressed with this car this weekend, Sam. Another team that's stepped forward. We often see this car in the catch-up session, but here it is. The main first session of endurance, setting out for their 22-kilometre challenge.
That's interesting. These cars are clearly, due to the number of teams that have struggled to get through tech inspection here, it's a slightly mismatched set of teams on track at the moment. You can see the real clear speed differential from Ain Shams, the Egyptian team, and Cambridge University. Though the second Cambridge driver is much slower than the first.
I like this from John CO on Let's Go Racing. Cambridge driving slowly to increase their on-air time.
Well, I think there is a problem with the Cambridge car. It's just come past our commentary position going slower
Ooh.
than ever, and it sounds like it's misfiring.
And smells a little bit as well. And they're
he's
pulling
given
in.
up. He's
And
given
I
up.
think that's it for the University of Cambridge. Do give them a big round of applause. That has been the best University of Cambridge run in the history of the team. 16 laps completed. But they've pulled off the circuit, and that is it for Full Blue Racing.
They'll be back next year.
They definitely will be. Bigger and better, hopefully. Lighter.
Yes.
Swansea University, number 119, completes its first lap. 1:33.41 from a standing start. Not bad there. Oh, as the drivers had a moment there.
I think that was textbook understeer there.
Yes.
The steering wheel's full lock right, and the cone fired off in the direction of the marshals. And another cone removed. The marshals tell, oh, off you go. And off he goes.
Now that'll be an off course, so that will be a 20-second penalty for Swansea.
There is a reputation for the Welsh teams to have rather an alternative approach, shall we say, to the course layout.
Iron Shams continue to go around. Arabic calligraphy on the side of the wings there.
Wonder what it says.
I've no idea. I must admit. 1:23.93 there for Iron Shams on their third lap. This car's done very, very well in the static events. Collected a lot of points across Thursday and Friday.
Swansea making its way. Not bothered any more cones yet. Matter of time.
Matter of time, indeed.
For a car from Swansea, they do have this reputation, and they have followed the same car concept we've seen from Swansea many, many times, of rather sideways driving.
Yes.
And we haven't really seen that from this car so far.
Driver taking it steadily through the Mathworks curve.
Got a good collection of sponsors here at Formula Student. We've got Mercedes AMG High Performance Powertrain, based down the road at Brixworth, GK Automotive, Silverstone UTC, Straight Ford, the Mathworks, Bosch, Camco, AFBE UK, inspiring people of BME to origin in engineering. Dyson, Royal Auto Week Club.
Oh, the Iron Shams, sorry, Sam, the Iron Shams car's gone full 180, taken out a cone.
No, it's car 80, not 180, old boy.
Yeah, 80 is the Iron Shams car. I heard a massive load of revs there, and the car pointing backwards. Oh, well, we're now going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cones. 5 cones there.
He's taken half the track with him. So he's on.
And he's still got 2 with him. Look at this,
He's going
coming
to
through
fire
Cobb's
them at the
corner.
marshals.
And there they go.
Well,
sorry, carry on with our
was
proud
it.
sponsors.
AB Dynamics, the Centre for Connected Automotive and Autonomous Vehicles for CETA, Mark Brunel Recruitment, WES, DLG Auto Services, Expert Tool Service, Tool Store, rather, Hoosier, the MIA, Marla, Powertrain, Newton, and Student Motorsport. The next generation of motorsport professionals.
Excellent stuff. Big thanks to all of our sponsors. Could not run the event without you. Swansea continuing to go around in the 119.
I missed out Formula Careers.
Oh, don't forget them.
Yeah, I can't forget Formula Careers. Well, I can't see a car at the moment, apart from the screen, which is Swansea. Probably wondering why the track looks a little bit different as they arrive down at the hairpin.
It all looks like this.
I'm sure it looks
Good
different.
grunt from the Swansea car as well as it heads down to the corners.
Only 2 cars on track at the moment. I'd expect we would see a third, but they keep on braking. So Swansea 3 laps completed. As I said that, here is the third. Hull taking to the track. Hull
First competitor in the Yorkshire pudding. I'm going to be kind. I'm going to include Humberside into the Yorkshire pudding.
I think you have to. Yeah, it's a different riding. We were discussing it last night. 2 entirely unofficial but hotly contested trophies that don't exist here at Formula Student. The Yorkshire Pudding for the best placed car from Yorkshire in the competition, and the Celtic Cup.
The Celtic Cup, indeed.
For the best placed Celtic team in the competition. Well, so far we've only had one Celtic Cup car on track, and that's Swansea University, because we didn't see Heriot Watt. So as it stands, Swansea University is leading the Celtic Cup. Slowly. It sounds like it's misfiring.
Yamaha MT-07 in this car.
It doesn't sound too happy.
No, it doesn't indeed. Aluminium honeycomb monocoque chassis as well, with a rear steel space frame, so a bit of a hybrid setup there on the chassis. Swansea coming around to complete another lap.
Oh, that's a good sound there coming from it's Hull.
So the Huffs team. Brilliant.
Puffs.
Huffs. It huffs along.
Well, let's hope it doesn't puff. I've spoken up for that. Well, Iron Champs though, going very nicely.
Got some good pace through the corners. Oh, there goes a cone though, on the rear left.
I've noticed there's a taped up cone.
A repaired
A
cone.
repaired cone. There was a suggestion last night in the hotel from the officials, the Dynamics team, that they might start charging for the cone damage. They thought that might make the teams avoid them.
Be a bit more respectful.
Nonetheless, I think Iron Shams has the most cones we've seen collected so far. I do suspect that record is going to fall though.
Yes.
Only one finisher so far, University of Hertfordshire. Obviously in first position. On track, we've got TTP Full Blue Racing, ASU Racing Team, Swansea University Race Engineering, ASU's Iron Shams. We don't have TTP Full Blue Racing on track because
They retired.
they retired. So yeah, that's great.
The whole car out on track now. Let's tell you a little bit about it. Tune the space frame chassis. And go past
Yeah,
Swansea.
the other screen back, please. I preferred that one. Just the live feed.
Honda CBR 600 engine in it as well. Quite a common engine in Formula student cars. Drexler limited slip diff on the back as well. It's almost a staple now of Formula student cars. The little Drexler limited slip unit.
It's the default. It's the default differential for many of these teams. There is a Quaif unit.
Yep.
And University of Hertfordshire has very clever. I'm not sure if they're using it on this year's car. I haven't looked in the book actually. I'm not sure if University of Hertfordshire are using their own design differential, but they have done for many, many years. There was a suggestion that they might sell them to other teams, but never did. But yes.
And that's one of the main sell points of the Drexler is its reliability.
Yeah.
The current this generation has been around for many, many years now. I remember, I was working with it on the Birmingham car back in 2012, and the main point being it doesn't leak. The one before it tended to weep a bit, and
The one that didn't have the knobbly bits.
yeah.
Oh, the driver of the Swansea car isn't looking too happy. His hand was not quite fist shaking, but sort of exasperation.
Hull continuing to go around very, very nicely at the moment. Let's have a look at the lap times for Hull. 1:22.28 last time around.
Apparently the fastest car on track. Not the fastest car we've seen today. That was Hertfordshire, 1:10. But the Swansea car.
Yeah, the pace seems to be going out of that car. They've currently completed 6 laps. Iron Shams complete their 8th laps. They're merrily along their way to hopefully at least reaching driver change.
Joe, you got yours on?
The whole car continuing to pound round though. Another one of the teams that's really improved this year. That's kind of the story of this first session of the endurance. Do keep your comments coming in on the YouTube streams on Let's Go Racing. You can tweet as well using the hashtag FS2019-2019. Keep an eye on all of the comments there coming in. You can also follow at FS UK Live. Now on there is live text feed of all the happenings going on here at Silverstone. There are teams still out there scrutineering, trying to get into the competition, into the dynamic events, as well as all the laps that being completed. Iron Shams finish another lap. That's lap 9 down. They're consistently in the 120s at the moment. The 124.29 last time around as Swansea are shown the blue flag, move aside, let Iron Shams go by.
Well, not far off the driver change, Iron Shams.
Hello to the Staffordshire University team, Formula Staffs at Staffs Uni FS. Awesome achievement through scrutineering using the hashtag FS 2019. So hopefully that's another car that we'll see later on in the day in the catch-up session.
They should call Staff Speed.
That's their second year as well. I remember teching them last year on their first attempt. So that's a team that's definitely stepped forward big time and taken on board a lot of the learning from last year.
9 laps on the board, fastest lap. The car's is a little bit inconsistent on pace. Swansea University, though, running around at 130, seems to have found its mark. It isn't going any slower. They've got 7 on the board. We can see the Iron Shams car coming for its drive change quite soon.
Yes, we will do. It's a very excitable car, this this Iron Shams car. It had a bit of a moment on sprint yesterday.
It did. No, the moment wasn't on the sprint. It was after the sprint.
After.
It was after. It just didn't realise it was after.
Yeah.
The driver just kept going. Just rather alarmed officials in the driver change area.
It's just knocked another cone over, though. I can see Marshall heading out to pick that up.
It's great having all of these different cameras, isn't it? Don't have to go outside.
I love it. It's brilliant. Makes our job a lot easier.
Well, thanks to the guys from High Vis Media and Sports Streaming UK.
Mm-hmm. I love this tower cam. The tower cam that...
It's quite an impressive construction, isn't it?
Yes. Especially around a very, well, not too windy today, but yesterday, especially a very windy Silverstone.
When is Silverstone not windy? Today, apparently, actually. The wind that does exist seems to have blown away those the angry-looking rain clouds.
Mr. Staten will be happy about that one. No, we're getting very close now for Iron Shams.
Is that trouble for Hull?
Hull running slowly past us in the commentary box. Are they losing drive? They've just clipped a cone there.
Yeah, definite trouble for Hull. So Iron Shams gets the checkered flag for its driver change, for that team's driver change.
So the third team to reach this point.
Now, will he slow down in the driver change area?
He's going a little bit pacey there.
Slightly alarming. Demonstrative looking up, going, "Oh!" That wild Egyptian bloke's coming at me again. Now we're watching the drive change on. Yeah, this is one of the teams that hasn't got a very big budget because they've only got one crash helmet.
Yes.
So they not only have to change driver, they have to share the crash helmet.
Oh, I bet that's nice for the second driver.
It's sweaty.
Here you go, mate.
Soggy. Yep, there you go. Exchanging the driver as we go back to looking at Hull. And the driver seems to have somewhat picked up the pace, but it doesn't seem very happy in that Hull car.
Swansea consistently still in the 120s. Not massively quick, but just keeping it running at the moment. That's what's important for them. Hull's pace has slowed. Fastest lap so far, 1 minute 22.280. Last time around they did a 1:32.21.
And the Swansea car still looking somewhat inconsistent, though it's getting quicker, 29.9. So while it looks inconsistent, it seems to be very consistent. Hull is definitely slowing though. Last time past the stripe was a 32.2. I think we're going to see sub 1 minute laps later on as well.
I agree. The track a little bit different and longer, and I know that the back straight has been altered slightly just to slow the cars down a little bit. We saw
Hull
times in the low 50s yesterday.
Hull lost 20-something seconds on that last run, so there's clearly something wrong with the 181.
And the position is going to be swapped back now. Hull have pulled into the blue flag zone. Swansea go past. Green flag shown for Hull. Now can they get going again? Yes, they can. I was worried for a second there that Hull weren't going to pull away.
And they do. And Swansea carry on. Swansea should be coming into the driver change next time.
Yeah, they will be. So we've had 9 cars run so far, if you're all just joining us here on Let's Go Racing. Formula Student 2019, the final day, the endurance event, the endurance challenge for our Formula Student teams. 9 cars have run. Hertfordshire, currently the only team to complete the full challenge in 32 minutes and 52 seconds. Cambridge achieved 16 laps before having to retire from the event. Shams have completed 11 laps but are currently in the driver change zone, hence why you're not seeing them out on circuit at the moment. Swansea have completed 10 laps out of the 23 laps, so they're about to go into the driver change area. Brasov did 7 very slow, very leisurely laps before they were pulled off the circuit for a second time. And yeah, fastest lap time of 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Hull are out there at the moment. They're currently on their 8th laps, as the checkered flag is waved for Swansea University to come into the driver change area. A very good run.
Shams are still down in the driver change area.
Yeah, indeed, you can see the Birmingham City University car, number 95, being prepared.
No driver in the Shams car. And no driver seeming to get into the Shams car. It seems to be sitting idly.
And no scrutineers really. Oh, actually, no, I can see Clive down there. Clive